Welcome everybody to our chair yoga class today. So if you have your block and are able to use that for your practice today, let's start with putting that between our ankles. Put the block on the floor in this narrow position, and then just squeeze your ankles into it. Be sure to come forward on the chair enough that, of course, you're not laying back into the chair's backrest, and that you're creating for yourself a right angle with your legs. The block is going to be like a spacer. It's going to help us keep the legs in a position, hips distance apart, and will kind of help us maintain that and find a place of reference by squeezing our ankles into it. It's also a good way to feel your feet a little bit differently and a little more prominently in this posture. So that's a good thing. It's more this sense of grounding that we always speak, feeling your feet to the earth by squeezing that block and just being aware of the legs and the feet. And then pull your belly muscles in a little bit so you feel stronger about this core strength, this core involvement. So just pulling the belly button in and maybe up a little bit will give you a much more stable foundation. We're going to start with palms facing up, thumbs kind of pointing away, so you're just aware of the thumbs as well. I'm going to bring that into more of our awareness in just a moment using the thumbs. But for now, just palms up, thumbs pointing away, closing the eyes. We use that all the time and don't think about it much about what that might be doing for us. But literally, just this closing of the eyes is a signal to our brain that it is time to go inward. Stop looking outside of us and being aware of the externals. Go inward. It calms the nervous system more. It turns the dial on the nervous system automatically. Obviously, we do that all the time to accomplish just that. But don't connect those dots probably. So intentionally now we close the eyes so that we can come into the awareness of ourselves. And truly, one of the fundamental aspects of yoga and its benefits to us is just that, coming into ourselves. I stumbled across a quote by E. Cummings, a poet, that I thought I'd start us off with. Whenever we think, believe, or know, we are many people. But when we feel, we are only ourselves. How often you have heard me make reference to the fact that yoga is inviting us to an awareness of our feeling sensation, bringing ourselves into the body, less so about thinking and figuring stuff out, more so about feeling, where we are truly ourselves. So if you haven't begun to deepen your breath intentionally or partner up with your breath, let's do that now, where you're participating in your breathing, noticing it, maybe lengthening it. Soften your mouth and your facial muscles. And then we're going to layer our hands. So those open palms now are coming so that the right hand is underneath the left hand, like it's holding. And we brought that right to the belly button, that mudra. And I apologize that I don't know the name of this mudra, but I know what the gesture is about. And it's about bringing ourself together. Our right side, our left side, our giving, our receiving, our masculine, our feminine, our shadow, our light, all of that is us. We're bringing it together right there at this position, right in the area of the solar plexus. And that's the area which most governs our agency. Our self, our sense of self, and that we have agency within our lives. The simplest way I have really understood that for me is the idea of taking care of yourself. You know, be sure to take care of yourself, because really that's our job. That's the agency I'm talking about. We need to take care of ourselves, our feelings, our emotions, our spiritual body, our physical body. Take care of ourselves. Back to the breathing, trying to figure out, you know, that long, slower breath and just how it makes this adjustment in your body. Just noticing it. I shouldn't say figure it out, just noticing it and experiencing that shift. Now bring your thumbs together. We've layered up the hands. Now make sure the thumb tips are touching each other. Really feel the whole experience of this mudra uniting. And let's use this posture now to just simmer that breath down, find our sense of grounding, feet to the earth, our bottom on the chair seat, connecting our thumbs, coming into a long, deep, steady, rhythmic breath that is ours. Softening the mouth. Breathing all the way in, breathing all the way out. Setting intention for your practice. Let's exhale it all the way out. Take another in-breath through your nose for sure. Exhale it out of your mouth. We'll release the hands and open up the eyes gently and start to lift those arms up. Palms are going to come together up and overhead. Just gently press palms together, lifting through the root of the arms. So it's your shoulders that have allowed your arms to float up and up. Your whole body is engaged to hold them there, to give you the strength and the stability of this. Feel that in your whole body. Press your feet to the ground and feel how your legs have engaged to hold yourself in this posture. When we exhale, we're opening up into sort of this cactus-like position. And let's vinyasa, add this vinyasa to that. As we inhale, it's up, palms together. As we exhale, we're coming into this posture of the cactus-like shape. You don't need to be in sync with me. I want you to just feel how your breath is working, because this is our full exhalation. Our full inhalation is lifting up, palms together, stepping the feet to the earth, feeling our legs, giving us a foundational support. So this movement just feels totally supported, totally accessible. Exhale it out. Let's meet in the inhale here. Exhale is going to be a bend. The inhale comes to the center. Exhale bends us the other way. Try to get your arms to kind of surround your ears. So again, we're finding our own rhythm. Exhale is the bend. Inhale is when we're straight up. I often choose a breath that I can hear. It keeps me more aware of my breath. So I'm breathing kind of noisy on purpose because it helps me to really realize the breath. Back up to center, inhaling. Exhaling is back to those cactus arms. And inhale up. Let's switch to the W arms. Inhale, exhale. Now, all the way pulling down, and you really arch the back body. Inhaling up. Arch the back body now. Really pull the hands back. Yeah. And up. Arch. Inhale. When we exhale, we're going to bring our hands to our heart, bow into ourselves. Inhale back up. Exhale, take a big sweeping motion all the way down and around. Arms are going to glide alongside the chair frame, and we're back to arching the back body. Keep your chin sort of parallel to the floor. And round the back body now into that C-shaped curve of the angry cat. And we'll find our vinyasa once again, flowing with our breath. Inhale does one thing, exhale does something else. Remember, your belly changes tone when we're doing this, so really exaggerate that movement, that your belly pulls way in when you're doing that C-shaped curve. And then it softens to help you lift up your chest and let your shoulder blades pull toward each other. And then it really pulls in with strength. You feel the belly changing tone. Next time you extend your arms in front, let's interlace those hands. So we come into that C-shaped curve, interlace hands, and inhale up and stretch those palms up now. So with interlaced hands, now we feel the engagement of our wrists differently. We certainly feel that in our fingers. Exhale is to the side, inhale is up, exhale is to the side. So this is kind of a real use of this vinyasa style to begin with today. Don't always use that, but it's kind of nice now and then. Inhale is up, exhale is to the side. This time we're going to hold, so as you exhale, you'll just hold it to find both the inhale and the exhale here. Keep your feet grounded, keep yourself squeezing your ankles into the block. Arms are as extended as you can with a little bend in the elbow. And it's just like you're really supporting your neck by keeping your arms in alignment with your ears like this. Let's find our next inhale that brings us up. Exhale, we're changing sides, same deal. We're going to breathe in and out here, holding. Keeping your bottom squarely on that chair. So if you start to feel the lifting of one's butt cheek up, we're going to make sure that stays put. Back up to center. When we release, this is our inhale. Our exhale is taking them back into that W. Oh, yeah. And then release the arms all the way down. Let's just catch up with our breath in our mountain pose. So turn your palms forward so the palms are facing forward. Remember that just steers your shoulder blades back. Upper arms are close to the waist, close to the side body. Squeeze the block. And just a little joint movement. Inhale up. Exhale straight down. Inhale wide like the T. And straight down. So there again, a little flow. Through the shoulder. Inhale is the up. Exhale is the downward motion. You notice how when you turn your palms, it changes the musculature a bit. At least you're aware, you can be aware of that. You roll your hands so that the palms turn a different way, and sure enough, you fired up a different muscle group. I think I'm going too fast. So you just be sure you're staying with your own breath flow. We're going to meet with the hands up and palms are going to come together up there. Inhale, lift your head up and look up at your hands. Exhale, as you bring your hands down, you look down and bow into yourself. Let's hold there. Just remembering, I hadn't memorized it, but let me get that. Whenever we think, believe, or know, we are many people. But when we feel, we are only ourselves. Release and come back into a neutral position now. Let's move the block so we're not limited to that space, and find maybe a wider stance, stepping away, your feet away from one another into a wider stance that feels comfortable to you. And then hands are going to come up to the shoulders. Let's just loosen that up a bit by just rotating around wherever you feel like you might need it, and it doesn't have to be any particular pattern. I just want you to loosen that up, feel some mobility there. And then we're going to begin, when you're ready, to strengthen the abdominal walls on the sides, those obliques. Helps with twisting too, and the range of movement that we are always trying to foster, our ability to rotate the trunk, to keep that twisting ability always available. Primarily, I got to admit, it's about driving for me, but just in daily life, to have that ability to move your body around in your space. Try it double, where you drop down twice, and don't be limited just because I'm touching my thigh. Maybe you like to go deeper than that. So take advantage of your body's flexibility if you're feeling that today. Softness in the mouth, no tension in your face. We don't need it, never do. And when we come over here on your right side, see if you can just hold it. Release your hand so it's no longer, touching the shoulder. And we just extend. We've got both arms like straight up and down from one another. Let's find our drishti. Try the ceiling, but if that doesn't feel right, see what you can figure out for yourself. Keep your feet grounded. Make sure you don't feel like your feet are just floating there. Make them a part of this pose. Your feet are connected to allow you to do this. It's like that diagonal reach that we once in a while will utilize. And we're looking up towards the ceiling. Hands are going to come back to the shoulders and bring ourselves back upright. And again, let's kind of reset that a little, just in case that kind of requires a little more attention. And when we drop to the other side, we'll just start to position that. One hand reaches toward the ceiling and the other one, towards the floor and the ceiling. That's it. Arms are kind of straight up and down for me. And now we got to find the drishti over here. It's different for me. I can't as easily look at the ceiling over here. I'm just saying. So we find the drishti, our turn of our head, where we can focus and still maintain our breath. That's kind of the measuring stick right there. And still maintain our rhythmic breath. I can see all of you, and it's just beautiful. Full breath in, full breath out. Feeling the expansion of your body. Let your feet feel connected to the earth. Let's bring our hands back to our shoulders and bring ourselves back up. And again, maybe reset that in any way that feels good for us. And keeping our legs in this wide open position just to give us a little more mobility in the external rotation aspect of our hips. I want to do some what I call shoulder shrugs. So one shoulder at a time shrugs way up and we drop it. The other one shrugs way up, we drop it. We do them both together. Yeah, we're just going to keep repeating that one big shrug on one side. We do the other shrug. We bring them both up and we intentionally add some tension, some constriction, and then we release it. Shrug. Both. Last time. And release. Good. Let's get our hands on our thighs. Remember, we're using the fleshy part, and we're just circling around here, trying to draw a big circle around the pelvic bowl. So I want you to notice your pelvic floor, the perineum, and how you're shifting around that map. The map of your perineum, if you're aware of that, feeling your body weight shift, how you support yourself differently as you move through the map. Be aware of that, notice it, give yourself permission to just really be curious about movements in the body and how you're feeling that in the muscles and the bones. We'll meet in the center, hold that, squeeze the elbows, tuck your chin, just hold it. Imagine yourself pulling your buttocks away from the chair. I don't want you to do it. I want you to just imagine it. Maybe it's just this hint of lifting your bottom up off that chair because your legs are so engaged. Can you feel that difference? You just fired up your legs, just slightly, ever so slightly, lift your buttocks up away from the chair. I mean, just the hint of it. And then relax back so your body weight is back there. We're going to change the direction of our circle. Noticing on this side now, this change of movement. Now, if you notice that pelvic mass, once again. Now let's come back to center, same deal. In the center, in a diagonal-like position, so you're just coming kind of halfway down, chest is leading the way, chin is up. And then a stomp into your feet, engage your legs and do the same thing where it just feels like you just got this hint of lifting your pelvis up and away from the chair's feet. And you feel that in the strength of your legs and the engagement of all of the buttocks, the muscles of the buttocks and the thighs, and you can just feel the strength of your legs. Let's release back into it, just a subtle move, and come back up, back into our neutral position. We bring the legs back in alignment with the hips. If there's any reset your body needs, please do it now. If there's any movement that you're just sort of needing or catching up with your breath or grabbing a drink of water, this would be a good time. The next thing I'm going to show you is what's called abdominal bracing. So it's a way of really accessing deeper muscle tone in the abdominal wall. So the hands are just going to be on your thighs, again, not on the knees. And, you're just kind of trying to find flesh. I just want you to press down. Like you're just trying to really make sure your thighs know that your hands are pressing down and you can feel that. And then just notice now, if you lift your heels way up, and yet you're still keeping that compression on your thighs, I want you to feel in your body, where is that? When I lift my heels up and yet I'm still pressing down, where am I feeling that in my body? Hopefully, somewhat down into that lower abdominal, right down. I'm kind of giving you a little picture here, way down deep. So let's start over where the heels are down and we just got them, and then we're going to keep pressing as we lift our heels up so that our legs are kind of resisting that. I want to hold that for 10, 9, 8, you're still breathing, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release the heels and relax. Deep breath in, exhale to the heart, inhale up, exhale wide. Let's do that bracing one more time. Hands come to the thighs, press down, lift the heels up. So it's like your legs are trying to push through the brace that you've created and you're not going to let it happen. And if you're not feeling it in the low belly, just try to pull in and up in that region. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we release. And we kind of shake that out. Give it a kick. Any movement your body wants. Good. Cross leg over top. So we're going to just bring our thighs together, sandwich them in. If you have the ability to wrap your foot around your calf, let's bind it that way. If that is not comfortable, it's just certainly not available to you. Just cross them like you would, and keep your knees stacked in the kind of the center of where you are on your chair. So I've got it set up so we'll be turning toward your right, inhaling up, and exhaling, bringing ourselves into this twist. So we're turning toward the top leg. Whichever way you landed, just notice it's the top leg that's the direction that you're turning and twisting. We're going to use that same tool we've been using quite often in that we're trying to get that back hand to slip underneath our buttocks. So we're kind of sitting on it. So we pin that shoulder back. And this hand can either just rest against the outer thigh or even use the chair seat to give you a place to kind of find some leverage. We want the spine very vertical. You don't want to be leaning back or forward or side to side. It's very vertical with the spine as we facilitate this twist. Let's find our full breath in and out and just hold it. Squeeze the thighs just a bit. And then kind of work it. You know, you're feeling your way into how your shoulder blades are trying to find some room for this. And the whole trunk of the body is making room for this revolved position. It's like you're taking your heart and shining it over to this side. Keep the mouth relaxed. Find your breath. You know, another opportunity for us to just explore, be curious about ourselves, how we're feeling. Exhale as you turn your head to come out of the pose. And then when we square our shoulders around, we're back into more of a neutral position. Let's continue to work the abdominals now. And just wrap your arms around each other in any way you can. So one elbow goes, one arm kind of takes the lower position and we just wrap it around. Clasping hands are in some fashion. You're just holding on to that bound position. If the wrap doesn't work, remember we've got another solution that is simply bringing elbows together, forearms together. That's another way. It's a crunch. We bring those elbows down and we're going to come way up high. So we're rolling down. You can feel that roundness of your back, just like a cat position. Utilizing abdominal strength. Pay attention to how your neck is doing with this. It can be really great, but you got to pay attention so the weight of your head is controlled by you, so your neck is benefiting instead of paying some price. Try to maintain this flow right through this midline, like there's a track you're trying to stay on. Now, make sure there's no tension somewhere that snuck up on you, like, what's that about? Why am I gripping? Let's meet with our elbows high. We're in that upright, kind of extended version of this, and that's when we're going to unwrap it all. Take that leg off and just shake it all out, kind of reset the body. Deep breath in and out, catching up with your breath. When you're ready, we'll start setting up. So you cross the other leg, trying to center that, wrap it around if that's available to you. Not, don't worry about it. A bind is just something we can work toward for some of us. Want to do that. Let's take a big inhale. Exhale is the twist. So we're turning toward that top leg. And breath by breath, awareness by awareness, if you will, we're going to move our hand underneath us so we can really pin that shoulder into place and feel a real support of that. Press that palm down into the chair seat. If tucking it under you just doesn't seem like that, it doesn't really fit. Like, my chair isn't helping me, it's too small or whatever. Then just see if you can press anything down. Press your palm down into that chair seat if that doesn't give you the same sort of result. Let's find our breath. Moving now through the twists and turns of our spine. We're feeling that breath. Soften something. Exhale completely. Squeeze those thighs. Just a bit. When we unwind, it's the head that starts it. We come back to square our hips around. We're going to bind those arms again. And try to find a different version because it probably goes the same way all the time. And we're going to do the same thing now as we do a few crunches here. Lifting up high, stretching through the front body, and then you fold into that. Just toning that abdominal wall. Pay attention to how your neck and head are moving. Can be, like I said, can feel really nice. Nice stretch and movement for the neck. And linger. I want to always offer that. I forget it too many times, I guess, to say, you know, if you're feeling something here that just says, oh my gosh, that is just so great, so liberating. Linger, work on that, be with that. We're going to meet with the elbows lifted. Take a big breath in and out. And then we just gently bring ourselves back to neutral. We're unraveling it all and uncrossing our legs and just kind of shaking that out. Good. Let's get our feet kind of tucked under the chair, and we'll practice standing up and out of the chair. We're just working with that a few times. Just give yourself a goal. Whatever maybe you've already determined you always do it at least, however many times, you like to do it. And then we'll meet just standing up near the chair. Sit back just a bit. I don't think we'll need the block again. I don't have a plan for it, so I'm going to just go ahead and move it out of the way. So we're near the chair, so we can kind of feel it back there. And we're in our mountain posture. Palms roll forward, so we just turn our hands so the palms are forward, and sure enough, our back body has come into a place of strength. I want you to, the kind of time and curiosity that we spend in various poses is about, sensing it. And so let's do that with our feet. That as you stand here nice and tall with no lock in the knee, let's make sure the knees feel soft, have some buoyancy to them. That you're feeling your way around in the soles of your feet, including your toes, the ball of the feet, the heels, how your ankles inside and outside govern, the compression or the pressure you feel in your feet to the ground. Just be curious and just really roam around with your awareness into the soles of your feet. And then just for the fun of it, let's just bring our awareness like we're bringing our body weight way into the toes, way more than we normally do. Like, what are we doing? We're going to tip forward. You're way into your toes. Just hold that. Now pull your belly in for strength. Way into your toes. Like, oh my gosh. And then gently, slowly bring yourself back so it's okay, way back into the heels. Your toes could come right up off the ground. Find your breath. And then you find that happy medium. You come back, happy medium, right there in that sweet spot. Let's close the eyes now for a few breaths. If you're comfortable with that, closing your eyes, again, we're shutting down, turning, signaling our body that it's time to take an inner view. We're going to look inside as we breathe all the way in, maybe starting with that breath at the soles of our feet. Letting the inhale come all the way through the legs, the belly, the chest, the throat, into our head. Exhaling it down through the same passageway to the earth. Eyes closed so you can really stay tuned into this experience. Trusting that your center of gravity is well in place and that you're balanced. In the knees. One more full breath cycle. We will flutter the eyes open. Inhale up, palms come together up and overhead. Exhale, hands at the heart. Inhale up and exhale, sweep your arms back and behind you so that your hands have interlaced behind your back and you're pulling your arms back and away from your back body. Now, we can hold it right there, or if you'd like to deepen this experience for yourself, bend your knees just a bit and tip yourself down like you're bowing into yourself Bowing, bowing, bowing down. Knuckles continue to reach toward the ceiling. Now gravity has assisted us in opening up our shoulders. You want to surrender the weight of your head. That's going to be the kindest thing you can do for your neck. And so let the weight of your head just surrender toward the earth. Let's release our hands like ragdoll arms down. And gently roll up one vertebrae at a time. Now to do that well, you got to bend your knees like crazy. So your knees are very bent as you're bringing yourself up one vertebrae at a time, rounding the back until you come up. And we're going to pause here to make sure our blood pressure is adjusted properly and that we caught up with our breathing. Keep eyes wide open so you feel your bearings. You've got your bearings. You know, the beauty of Zoom classes, there are some real advantages to this, right? Like, you know, I got to go get a Kleenex, I'm going to go get a drink of water. I'm not stopping anything. The class is moving on. That's a real freedom. I like it a lot. We're going to bring our chair to position so that we can utilize the back of it to support us. So however you feel like that's the best way for you to do it. I always just choose a way where you can see me best, but you don't have to mimic that if that's not what's working best for you. So I want us a little bit, you know, further away. We're not right up against the chair. We're coming back. We're almost having to extend our arms there so that we still have it to use for support, but we're not real close because we need this space. See in a minute. We're going to need this space here. Let's start with, I got my right side up here. We're going to lift it up and roll it around. So we're trying to do some circles in this hip that starts center and moves right because we got our right leg in motion. Center and moves right. So that's an external rotation. It's as high as you can go. It's as big a circle as you can trace. If you feel like I only need one hand on that and I kind of like to have my other hand somewhere else, that's fine. Because this is about the hip. So we're supporting ourselves and our body as best we can with that. But this is our idea. We're trying to get some rotations. Now, let's come back to center. Both hands on the chair. And just take that high knee forward and then just point the toe back. The high knee forward, and then we point the toe back. We're working right through this midline. We haven't gone outside of the box. Make sure you feel the rhythm of your breath. It doesn't necessarily have to be this inhale and then this exhale, but you feel your breath very well supported. You're moving within the rhythm of your breath. Both feet to the floor. Take a moment now. And then I want you to just step out. I'm going to turn so you can see that you're just stepping out from where we were. You're just taking a step out. Step out. And then that step bends. So step out, bend the knee. Rhythmic breath. Keep yourself supported. One more time. And we're back to center. I want you to shake your legs real well. Just give them a shake. One more thing over here. So we started with that external rotation. Now let's go in. So you're going to start to roll it in. So the opposite way. You're circling your leg the opposite way. Try to cross that knee over towards the left as far as you're able to do. You're bringing it past the midline. Kind of the definition of that internal rotation. Excellent. Both feet to the floor. Excellent job. Let's shake that out. I'm going to turn you. Probably need to, but I'm turning so we can be ready for the other side. Again, we're far enough away from the chair that we got the space. We're going to lift up, and remember, it starts going to the left. So it comes to the center, and then we're on our left leg. A high knee, and use the chair to your advantage. Whichever works best for you to draw these circles with your leg. I don't know about you, but you know, I'm huffing and puffing to this, so it's a stronger breath needed here. Give yourself that breath. Love that breath. It's like brand to have that strong breath to support this movement. Come back to center. Next move is that tiny in the front with a flex foot and a straight leg back with pointed toe. You're moving yourself right through this midline. Feel the rhythm of your body now. Find your breath. You'll know how to dial this up, more challenge, or down, so it's a little less demanding. Take care of yourself. And back to center. Let's take a moment to kind of reset. Shake it up. The next move is that step. Stepping out and back. Step away with a bent knee and back. So how wide a step is up to you. Keep your hand on the chair for steadiness. Can't hurt. Don't need to make apologies about that. One more. We come back to center. And we're going to do the internal rotation. So we're changing the circle of our leg to draw over toward the right side, past the midline, into this internal rotation with these circles. One more. Let's get both feet to the floor. Shake your legs out. I mean, really give them a shake, like a kick. And let's meet in our mountain pose. Take your time. Find your breath. Get your drink, whatever you need. Back to breathing in and breathing out. Back to closing eyes and checking our surface of our feet. Finding that sweet spot that you discovered. Your body has balanced itself front to back, right to left, in the anchors of your feet. Puff up your chest with your breath. Feel your rib cage expand. This is a great pose to do that. Don't lock your knees. Keep the softness there. Feel how strong you are now. Just notice that. How connected you are to this moment, this space, into your body. Exhale completely. Flutter your eyes back open. Get a little bit wider stance. So we're opening the feet a little bit wider, a more wider foundation, let's call it. And hands can either come here to your shoulders if that kind of, gives you a place to be. I just want us to use our arms to twist. So the knees are pretty bent, so there's some buoyancy there. And we're really just twisting and carrying ourselves from side to side, however you want to do it. Maybe you reach your arms out. That's okay. It's the idea of what we're doing with the trunk of our body and how our shoulders are participating. Rhythmic movement. Wouldn't it be great if we had some nice upbeat music we could kind of keep the step with? So you'll be doing that in your kitchen, right? From now on, every now and then, turn the music on, getting yourself going. Change the twisting just a little bit now. Now it's just reaching overhead. Those oblique muscles, that side waist. We're really giving it some good attention. Good. And then all the way down. Let's do that shoulder shrug. Say that. Shoulder shrug. So up and down. Shrug it up and down. Again, both in and down. A couple more like that. Shrug, shrug, both. Shake that up. Turn towards your chair, the back of the chair now. Let's do that. Old familiar, forward fold. So we're going to have our hands on the chair. We step back, we create this L shape. Take a look at your feet. Make sure they're positioned just where you want them to be. Very mindfully now. Pulling the chin towards your throat a little bit so your back of your head, neck, and spine are in beautiful alignment. Stretch your buttocks back toward the wall behind you. Think about the buttocks pulling back. Think about your thigh bones pulling back. I don't care what you reference. We're stretching back into that area, keeping our toes down, our feet connected to the ground, lengthening the spine. The hands on the chair are there, yes, and we want them there, but don't grip it. Don't hold on for dear life. Let your legs hold you here. One more quick breath. Stretch back to the butt. We're going to start to lift ourselves up. Right foot is going to step forward. Left foot is back. Both heels are down. The soles of both feet are down. Front leg is bent, back leg is straight. Hips are square to the front. Palms are going to come together, or you can continue to hold the chair. This is the warrior one posture. Inhale up. As we exhale, we're just simply spreading the palms apart, so we've got our arms kind of in this very, I like to call this, warrior stance of pride and strength and, grandness of it all, celebration of it all. Hips are squared, shoulders are squared, hands up. Nice to have the chair there. Pull your thumbs back just a bit. You're going to feel a little more of a back bend in it. That's pretty triumphant. But even your gaze, your drishti can go to the ceiling. Excellent. We're coming back to neutral. Our hands are back on the step back and come back into our extended forward fold, the L shape. Same deal. Bring your awareness into your feet. Don't lock your knees. Upper arms should be gliding right by your ears. You're using the strength of your legs, not your arms. Under the chair and cling to it. We're just sitting there. Wall behind you. Feel the rhythm of your full breath coming in. And the strength of your body. Start to lift yourself up as you come forward. We're going to switch to the other side. Left foot is forward, right foot is back. Left knee is the bent one. Back leg is straight. Both heels are. Our hips are square to that chair, so are our shoulders. The goal of this pose, if you're working on deepening or getting kind of better at it for yourself, how would that look? Is make a stance between your feet. It's a deeper bend in your front leg. That would be one thing. If you're looking for that kind of information, there you are. Come together. You can hold it right there. That's a pose of strength. Or there's variations like we just want to be. Find your breath. Find the soles of your feet, the strength of your legs, the mountain within you. Well named, right? Tadasana, tada. Exhale completely. Your hands back to the chair when you're ready. Step forward and back. Now, let's meet in our mountain pose. Catch up with your breath. the chair wherever it is in relationship to your body. Let's just say that the leg that's near the chair is our standing leg. The other leg is going to take a high knee up. We're going to rotate it out and rotate it in. Rotate it out and rotate it in. Let's hold it while it's just up in the center. As high as you can. Maybe interlacing your hands underneath your hands. And we're going to start spinning the foot around, just rotating the ankle. Heavy leg, just gives you a sense of stability. Doesn't mean holding on, just like there's this center of gravity you have located. Release, maybe shake it out. The other leg now needs to get a chance, so we'll just shift our weight. The leg near the chair now becomes the standing leg. We lift the other knee up and we rotate it out. And in, out, and in. Both hands come to the underside of that thigh. If you always need a hand on the chair and one hand is available to hold onto your side, that's fine. And we can spin that foot around. Find your breath. Might be loud by now, might be like, oh, I'm just really catching up. Release. Shoot both legs out like a kick. And it's time for Shavasana. So we bring our chair back to center perhaps, or maybe there's a different place that you move to. Maybe you go sit on a nice recliner. Believe me, that is A-OK. Leaning back into the chair, the backrest of the chair. And your shoulders relax and soften. Close your eyes at your earliest opportunity. For just a moment of this pose, maybe the whole time, please layer up your hands. Left hand is on top, right hand is below, and our thumbs are touching. We're just kind of letting them lay there in our belly. Thumbs making connections, layered hands, palms up. Relax your shoulders. That pose that connects us helps us to remember that we're all made, composed of the yin and yang, darkness to light, the joy and the sorrow. And we got it all. This is our life. We honor that. Truly ourselves. It's your time, so if your preference would be to relax your hands in some other way, certainly do that. Let your breath deepen. You just watch it. Be the observer now of your breath as this deep and slow nature takes over. We soften and relax our facial muscles. Skin. If we can't get any further than that, we'll start with the skin around the eyes. Just feel a lightness of being in our face and our head. Soften the throat. Relax your shoulders. And then let your breath kind of focus on the area that you just brought your awareness to. Your head, neck, and shoulders. Breathing around that. Directing your breath, spreading it around in that upper region. Bathing yourself in breath. Head, neck, shoulders. Soften your belly. Bring awareness to your back body. Relax your back muscles. The whole back. down into your hips. Now our breath is circling around to the softness of the belly, the relaxation of the whole back, down into the pelvis, into our hips. And we circulate the breath around there, blessing, anointing that part of our body. And down into the thighs, the knees, down to your shins and calves, ankles and feet, up and down and all around. You feel the connection, the awareness of your limbs. It's not limited to our legs, but also bringing awareness of your arms, elbows, hands, into your limbs. Let the breath extend away from the center for now, out to the limbs, all around, in and out. Softening the hands, softening the feet. Over in, over out, brings us to that space of calm and ease of being. Bathe yourself in that. Surround yourself. Calm and ease of being. The words of E. Cummings. Whenever we think, believe, or know, we are many people. But when we feel, we are only ourselves. Begin to introduce movement back into the body now. You gently wiggling your toes or fingers. And flutter the eyes open. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale it out of your mouth with the sound of ah. Do that 2 more times. That great release. Inhale through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Let's sync up our breath now. Inhale together all the way up, palms are overhead. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale. Exhale, we share. Palms to come together at the heart center. We bow to ourselves and to one another. Namaste, my friends. Thank you for joining me.
Namaste, Julie.